These are images of a Boeing 747 belonging to the Polish charter airline Enter Air. However, this time the plane was not carrying Poles going on vacation, but 15 German soldiers who had arrived in Greenland a few days earlier on a reconnaissance mission. It turns out that the Bundeswehr was unable to transport its own troops. All this at a time of what is supposedly one of the most serious crises in NATO's history. We are investing in submarines, frigates, and maritime patrol aircraft as part of our maritime security partnerships in the North Atlantic. Yesterday, at Denmark's invitation, we sent a research team to Greenland. Together with our NATO allies, we strongly support Greenland and Denmark. The mission was intended to demonstrate Europe's commitment to Greenland's security. However, not everyone in Europe took it as seriously as Germany would have liked. I can't understand it. Imagine, 15 Italians, 15 French, and 15 Germans in Greenland. It almost sounds like the setup for a joke. If it was a joke, Donald Trump does not share the German sense of humor. He announced that all countries involved in the military mission in Greenland will be subject to new tariffs. Starting on February 1st, 2026, all of the above-mentioned countries, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Finland will be charged a 10% tariff on all goods shipped to the United States of America. From June 1st, 2026, the tariff will be increased to 25%. This tariff will be due and payable until such time as a deal is reached on the complete and total purchase of Greenland. Representatives of Poland's pro-EU government jumped at the opportunity to attack Donald Trump.
I hope someone will explain to him that we are a customs union and you can only put tariffs on the EU as a whole.
Shortly after the announcement of the new tariffs, European countries ended their 44-hour mission in Greenland and withdrew their troops. Germany, which aspires to be the guarantor of security in Europe, brought 15 of its soldiers back home on a private flight, with a stopover in Copenhagen. Today, in Europe and the EU, the Bundeswehr does not play any role that could lead to helping secure another country. Over many years, they have brought about a situation where the German army today is in a state of decay. Back in 2023, Germany committed to deploying a permanent heavy armored brigade in Lithuania. To date, they have not fulfilled this promise. Now, however, Germany, side by side with France, is preparing for economic war with the continent's primary guarantor of security, the United States. Germany and France are in agreement. We will not allow ourselves to be blackmailed. Europe will give a clear, joint response. We are now preparing joint countermeasures with our European partners. We are preparing them in case President Trump maintains his threat of tariffs. We Europeans must remain united and coordinated in our response, and above all, ready to make full use of the European Union's instruments, trade agreements, tariffs, and anti-abuse measures. If these tariff threats are confirmed, we will analyze all options. However, Donald Trump's tweet alone was enough to cause the European stock markets to tumble. It is clear that a tariff war will not serve either the United States or Europe in the long run. I think everything will play out on Wednesday when Donald Trump is scheduled to appear in Davos. What will he say in his speech? Who will he talk to? And how will the situation be assessed afterwards? Until we know, the trend toward lower sales is likely to continue. The hope remains that talks between the European Union and Donald Trump will continue. The American president remains adamant. Almost every day, he emphasizes that for national security reasons, the United States needs full control over Greenland, which is already surrounded by Chinese and Russian ships. However, Denmark has no intention of selling the island. NATO has been telling Denmark for 20 years that you have to get the Russian threat away from Greenland. Unfortunately, Denmark has been unable to do anything about it. Now it is time, and it will be done. The ball is in the Europeans' court. European Council President Antonio Costa has decided to convene an extraordinary meeting of the Council in the coming days, the situation around Greenland.